Do you find it beneficial of having only one friend or a little bit of a variety of friends? Having only one person that you always associate with, that's always good because you have certain things in common with that particular person. However, here's the drawback. The drawback with having only one friend is that there are only a certain amount of things you can do with that one person. You might have other things that interest you or certain other parts of your personality that you might not be able to express with just that one person. Only because everyone is different and everybody has other parts of who they are that they might want to express. I'm going to talk about a key benefit, the key benefit of having a little bit of a variety of friends. And that key benefit comes down to self-expression. Now I'm going to elaborate on this point right here further. Who you are, your core sense of your identity, however you define yourself is what you want to express. And the reason why is because as long as you're expressing who you are, your core sense of your identity, then you're simply meeting a need that will bring you more fulfillment. And that's everybody's goal in life anyway. Everybody wants to be fulfilled and happy. So the only way to get there is when you're expressing who you are. Now, however you define yourself. Now, let's say for instance, you define yourself as a competitive person. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with being competitive as long as it doesn't overpower your morals. But you define yourself as a competitive person. So therefore, you might be one of them kind of people who might be inclined to compete with other people in recreational activities. It could be something as simple as board games that you might play with family or friends. But as long as you're expressing that part of your personality, then you're the most satisfied. Now, in case you're wondering, what does this have to do with having a little bit of a variety of friends? And the answer is this. You have a variety of personality traits. So in other words, there's not one thing that defines who you are. There's other things that define who you are, not just one thing. So let's say, for instance, you might be a person that's competitive, but then you might also be a kind of person who has a great deal of empathy. Maybe you really care about other people. Maybe you're the kind of person where a lot of people like to come to for advice because you simply either a real good listener or you give good advice. Maybe they might come away from you feeling good about themselves. So that's one part of your personality. Or maybe another part of your personality, maybe you're the kind of person who loves excitement. Maybe you're the kind of person who loves to spend time in theme parks and ride roller coasters. See, when you're doing that, you're expressing that side of your personality. See, you're not just expressing one part of who you are, you're expressing other parts of who you are. When you only have one person that you always associate with, which is nothing wrong with that. And I'm not saying by no means just drop your one friend. I'm not saying all that. But when you only have one person that you always associate with, then your conversations that you have with that person might be limited. Like, let's say, for instance, you and the other person, y'all have a strong interest in playing chess. So many of your conversations might evolve around just that. And you might feel deep on the inside that there's something that's missing. There's other parts of who I am that I'm not expressing. And there's other parts in the person that you're associating with as well, too. So if you limit yourself to just one person, then you may have had that feeling that you feel like you're missing out or you're not as fulfilled as you want to be. So keep an open mind. Keep an open mind for different kinds of people. I'm going to tell you, in my case, I've always had my same circle of friends. But then I ventured out and I started meeting new people. So I had my original friends, but then I was going out and I was meeting new people that had interest in other things. And come to find out, when I was participating with them in certain activities, I was able to tap into strengths and talents I never even thought I have. Only because I had a little bit of a variety. So be open to different kinds of people. Keep an open mind. And you're going to feel that need for completeness, that need for fulfillment. You're going to feel complete. So this is all I'm going to leave for you for this evening. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And I will talk to you next time around. Have a good night.